Your child isn't triggering you because you're a bad parent. They're triggering you because they're activating a younger part or younger parts of you. And once you understand that, everything starts to make sense. If you've ever reacted more strongly to your child or children than to anyone else in your life, like if you've snapped, shut down, overcorrected, or felt a wave of guilt afterward, this video is for you. And I want to say this clearly right from the start. This does not mean that you're failing. It means that you're human with a nervous system that is shaped by your own early experiences. Children don't just need us, they also activate us. They activate our nervous system, our attachment history, and our inner child. When your child is upset, defiant, needy, loud, or dysregulated, they aren't just asking for support. They're unconsciously, keyword, touching the places inside you where you once needed support. Your child's behavior can mirror emotions you weren't allowed to express, needs that were never met or that weren't met consistently, or moments when you had to grow up too fast. So when your child cries, melts down, resists, or needs reassurance, your nervous system may respond as if you're the one who's being threatened or in danger. Not because your child is doing something wrong, but because your body and your nervous system remember what it felt like to need and to not receive. This is likely why the reaction you might experience feels out of proportion to the situation at hand. It's because a younger part or younger parts of you are subconsciously being activated. It's not about the spilled milk. It's not about the tone of voice. It's not even about today. It's about an old emotional memory or old emotional memories being reactivated in real time, because that's simply how we're wired. And when that happens, your nervous system shifts out of the present moment and reality and into survival. This can show up in many different forms, such as snapping or yelling, shutting down emotionally, explaining or overcorrecting or over-controlling, and or feeling flooded with guilt or shame in the aftermath. These responses once helped you survive your own childhood environment. It's not just a compassionate perspective, but also a realistic one. They are not character flaws. They are protective patterns. The most important thing to understand is this: awareness has to come before change. You cannot regulate what you're immediately judging as bad, as wrong, as flawed, as needing to be fixed. You cannot heal, therefore, what you're shaming and dismissing and ignoring, because you're neglecting the opportunity to become more deeply aware of and in tune with yourself and these younger parts of yourself surfacing. When you can gently say, oh, something old just got activated. you start to create a space between the trigger itself coming from your child or children or even other potential triggering situations and the response. That space is where reparenting begins. Reparenting, notice here, does not mean suppressing, ignoring, or dismissing your reaction. It means meeting that activated part of you with your full, non-judgmental presence. It sounds like this feels big because it once was big. I am safe right now, even if my body doesn't believe it yet. I can support myself and my child in this moment. This is how cycles start to break. Remember, it's not through perfection, but through repair. Your child doesn't need you to never be triggered. They need you to return once you are triggered and become disconnected, like we all do. Children need to experience repair, regulation, and emotional safety over time. And every time that you pause, notice, and respond, even with slightly more compassion than before, you're teaching your child something different than what you learned. If this resonates, know that you're not alone and you don't have to figure this out by yourself. In my reparenting course, we work deeply with triggers, nervous system regulation, and building the grounded inner parent your child, including and especially your inner child, need. You can explore that work through the link in the description below. Your child isn't exposing your failures. They're revealing your healing edge. Children heal. That is the power of unconditional love. And with awareness, compassion, and support, that edge becomes a space for transformation.